WNDS Sports presents New England's favorite bowling show. From Leda Lanes in Nashua, New Hampshire. Featuring the best bowlers from around the region. Candlepin Stars and Strikes. And now your hosts, Dick Lutz and Mike Morin.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome into another edition of Candlepin Stars and Strikes on WNDS TV from Leda Lanes in Nashua, New Hampshire. Dick Lutz with Mike Morin. Today we will crown a champion. We've reached the top of the ladder in our third ladder series of the season.
And guess who's in there? Who would have thought? Gary Carrington.
What a surprise.
That's right. He's made, I wouldn't say short work, but he's gotten by, not with exceptional bowling, but good enough to get here for the big match against Craig Holbrook today.
Win last week, 401 to 373 over Bill Treefel, setting up this afternoon's match against top seed Craig Holbrook. Let's meet our bowlers vying for a berth in the Tournament of the Champions at the end of the year. First, number 3 seed from Plaistow, New Hampshire, last week's winner, Gary Carrington.
And right on his average last week of 133 with a 401 triple. High single is 196. His best triple is 499. He bowls out of Park Place in Wyndham on the Friday Night Pro League out of St. Joe's in Haverhill.
Gary rolled a 637 in the roll-off to earn the number 3 seed in this ladder series. And he'll be taking on the man who earned the number 1 seed with a 669 in the roll-off from East Bridgewater, Massachusetts. Let's say hello to Craig Holbrook.
One of the great lefties in the game today, as you see right there, averaging 130, 196 high single. His best triple is 505. He bowls out of Hanover Bowl in Massachusetts.
Let's get right to it. Two of the best going at it this afternoon, Gary Carrington and Craig Holbrook. When we come back to Leda Lanes, it's Candlepin Stars and Strikes on WNDS TV. There you see the 5 we began with, and 5 great bowlers, and now we're narrowed down to 2 as it's Gary Carrington and Craig Holbrook vying for the championship this afternoon at Leda Lanes in Nashua. Gary Carrington will be first to bowl.
And I dropped that one.
He said last week when we talked about throwing a bad ball, you have to get over it in a hurry and move on to the next ball, the next frame, the next string. You have to put it out of your mind.
Yeah, I think anger management and controlling your emotions is a big part of being successful in this game. But you still need that fire, and he certainly has that. You don't want to take that away from him.
I'd say that holds true in just about any walk of life, and
sure.
No matter what you're doing, no matter what your vocation, avocation may be, you have to learn to control your temper, control your emotions.
And really like what you do.
Keep your eyes on the target at all times.
Well, there's the spread eagle minus the 10 pin out.
Look at this. Look at this. Almost made it. There's nobody better at making crazy shots like that than Gary Carrington. 10 bucks. He plays the angles as well as anybody. Now Craig Holbrook. 130 average. Bowling out of Hanover Bowl. The lefty.
Got some stuff on the ball.
Split. Will that pin go down? No, that was the 4 pin, or was it the 9 pin? It was the 9 pin. It's now the 8.5 pin.
Yeah.
I meant to say 6 pin, but it was the 9 pin that slid over about 4 inches. Playing the wood, he threw it right between. Craig does fountain setup for the Coca-Cola Company. He and Rose have been married for 17 years. Mara plays the flute in the school band, and Victoria is 10 years old. And under hobbies, he says he's busy with daughter's activities. I can relate to that. As can you, Michael.
I can. I don't have quite as many as you do. And my one and only is out of the house now, and you still have, I think, one at home, right?
I do. Well, no. They're all
gone?
The youngest is away at school, too.
Well, then but you're still paying out on the big tuition bills.
Oh, yes, I sure am. That will be forever and ever.
Seems like it, huh? No marks.
Matter of fact, I'm about to prepare a sign that says we'll work for tuition bills. They'll stand on the street corner and hold it up. Gary Carrington.
On the surface,
first mark. Go ahead, Mike.
On the surface, that looks like an easy spare, but it's very, very difficult to make unless you hit it just right. The diamond, the bucket, whatever you want to call it, it's a tough one.
We have $575 in the triple strike jackpot. We gave it away a couple of weeks ago. Mark Gregory walked away with the triple strike jackpot.
$700 as I recall.
In his win over Paul Barassa. And then Gregory lost to Gary Carrington, and Carrington ousted Bill Treefel. And now it's Carrington and Holbrook for a berth in the Tournament of Champions. Looking to be the third entry into the tournament. That'll be a $9.
Dave Hodge and Jeff Soretta, your two bowlers so far, representing today's fine young professional Candlepin fireballers. These gentlemen would be considered not as youthful as them, but boy, every bit as fireball oriented.
If you ever ask yourself about the health of Candlepin bowling and the demographics of Candlepin bowling, all you have to do is look at a couple of kids like Hodge and Surratt and know that the future of the game is in very good hands.
Yeah, because they really, really love the game, as these gentlemen do.
All right, Greg. All right, grab a stick.
That'll be a $10.
Still awaiting
7 boxes and no marks.
Yeah, our first mark is yet to be put on the sheet. Bowlers are just shadow dancing out there right now until the real action begins.
A little too full on the head pin that time for Craig. The 2-pin, the 6-pin, and the 10-pin. Piece of wood way out in front of the 6 and 10. He's going to play the wood, try to bounce it off the wall. Eight boxes, no marks. Babe Carrington on lane 34. Candlepin Stars and Strikes on WNDS TV, presented by Tri-State Megabucks and the games of the New Hampshire State Lottery Commission by McMulkin Chevrolet, Nashua Mitsubishi, Nashua Hyundai, and Nashua Cadillac. All part of the Thompson family of dealerships in Nashua, New Hampshire. And this is a makeable spare for Gary Carrington. The 3 and the 6, the wood between them. Put it in the box. First mark of the string.
Well, the last time prior to this ladder that you saw Gary Carrington, he was the winner of the 2004 Tournament of Champions with a rather resounding victory over Sean Baker, 446 to 368. You saw that back in May, and then a replay back in September.
You can make it.
So do you use the wood in this case, Dick?
I don't think you have a choice. I think
now that it's rolling in front.
You certainly have no choice. It straightens out. He's got to play the wood. And I think you play the left side of the wood and see what happens. That's what. No, he's going right at the red stripe, not making the shot.
Well, that'll teach him not to listen to you. Carrington has been right around his average, or just a tad below, 2 weeks ago in his victory over Mark Gregory. Had 391 last week. Right on average over Bill Treefel at 401.
There's Craig Holbrook right in the pocket. Will it go? It's going to rock it, but it's not going to knock it over. So the 6-pin still stands with the piece of wood, and that will go.
I don't think he wanted to cap it quite the way he did.
It was frozen to it, though. I think it
worked out.
It's going to go one way or the other. Both bowlers with their first mark in the 5th frame. And an 8-pin fall. When's our next taping session, Michael?
Well, that'll be in January, Dick, as our last one occurred as you watch this
Happy
on
New Year
Sunday
to
the
everybody,
12th.
by the way.
Next taping will be on Tuesday, January 11th. Almost a month away. Tuesday, please join us after the first of the year.
We'd love to have you with us here at Leda Lanes. Ray Simino and Sean Howard and the staff at Leda Lanes do such a great job accommodating the fans who come out to watch the matches. Some of the people get here very early in the morning. The coffee and donuts are here waiting for them. They renew their acquaintances and their camaraderie. They enjoy each other's company so very much. They look forward to their getting together for the monthly taping of Candlepin Stars and Strikes, and you can be part of it as well. We'd love to have you join us. Tuesday the 12th, you say?
Tuesday the 11th.
Tuesday the 11th.
That's
January
right.
11th at Leda Lanes in Nashua.
Next week, Dick, we get a look at the women as well. It's the mixed doubles 4-week ladder beginning. Hope you'll be a part of that as well. Same time, same station, 1 week from today.
$10 for Gary. Neither bowler really turning it on just yet, but they're so very explosive. It could come at any second. Gary missed the head pin on that one. He bounced that one a little bit.
He's found himself
Not a
quite
smooth delivery, yeah.
Been off on the left quite a bit today and a bit last week as well, leaving some difficult spares.
That's a good ball. The wood cost him. The wood that was there knocked the ball away. Sometimes the wood helps, sometimes it does not. That time it did not. That's an $8 for Gary Carrington. Craig Holbrook on lane 34. That one got away from him.
No damage done. He's not on the spare. Just has a difficult conversion to make. That's all.
Just has to make a strike to get a spare, essentially what it amounts to. 4 horsemen and the 8-pin.
They both marked in the 5th frame, and that's been it this game.
$6.
All right, Curtis, come on, start him here now, come on.
Well, you know what'll happen? One will start, and that'll bring the other one along. They'll both come to life.
They'll both end up with 400s.
Yeah. Yeah, even with these bad starts, they probably will.
Holbrook again off the head pin.
A good score is preferable here in the championship round for better seeding in the Tournament of Champions.
Winning the match is the first consideration.
Sure.
And then scoring high is the second consideration. Open frame for Craig. Watch out, it's not done yet. Yes, it is. It's an 8-box.
A 1-pin match, 82 to 81 through 8.
These two very good friends needling each other a little bit.
Craig's got that checkered towel today. I don't think anybody's going to be running through that anytime soon. This race is far from over.
Gary with a tough shot here. He's got the 2 and the 6. Going to try and cut the 2 across to the 6.
Collective groan.
These are two of the best Candlepin bowlers in the world, and we're watching them both struggle. An 8-box. Gary with a 90 through 9. It can happen. We've seen it so many times.
Nobody likes to see him struggle, but it makes us all feel better about ourselves because we struggle more than we succeed, probably most of us.
Right through the middle. Spread eagle +1. You've got the 9-pin behind the 3. So you've got the 3, 6, 9, 10 on the right, the 2, 4, 7 on the left. Gary will go to the left first and just pick off the 2-pin. He's not going to break 100.
One thing he's breaking is a sweat, wondering when this will be over.
We'll see how his anger management kicks in right here when he talked about that last week. Right through the middle. That's going to be a 4-box for Gary Carrington and a 94 first string. One of the greats in Candlepin bowling. Gary Carrington suffers through a 94 first string. And we all suffered with him. Now Craig Holbrook. He's not going to be much better unless he knocks. And he breaks up the split.
Looks as though the 6 and the 7 were going to go at the same time.
The 7 pin is right there. And he's got the mark.
A little mock applause for himself there.
So Craig will have the lead after 1. Right through the middle it goes. A 4-pin fill and a spread eagle.
How annoying is that when your opponent bowls a 94 and you can hardly beat him by 10 pins?
Good shot on the spread eagle, but he's going to be open. He's at 103 right now. .104 first string for Craig Holbrook. A 10-pin lead over Gary Carrington after 1. From Leda Lanes in Nashville, we continue with Candlepin Stars and Strikes on WNDS TV. Craig Holbrook ready to bowl on lane 34. Off the head pin. Look at this ugly. Well, he got a couple of pins fall for him in the back. Spread eagle, not spread eagle, 4 horsemen on the right with a couple on the left. A lot of wood on the deck. But he's not going to make the spare. An 8-box. Right through the middle again.
Are we having fun yet?
This is really something, isn't it?
Craig Holbrook, winner of the September WCBC stop at the Beverly Bolomat for his 11th title. Been around a long, long time, age 43.
That's a good 8-box for Craig. Something when you have to comment on how good the 8-box is. Now Gary Carrington. A 94 first string for Carrington. Holbrook only 10 pins better. Carrington on lane 34, trying to snap out of it. Throws a good first ball, and look what he has to show for it.
That wood is not really going to be of any help.
The 6 and the 7, the piece of wood in the back is too far in the back, I believe, to help out. Yep, it was.
Gary knew.
And a 10-box for Gary, so he picks up a couple of pins.
Gee, have we given any bonus money away yet?
Gary Carrington. Right on the head pin. 9-pin drop. 7-pin stands. Wood is not good. Wood is a tough situation. Could go either way. He's going to the left side of the wood. Missed it. I knew that that wood was not in a good position. 2 10s for Gary Carrington. Picks up 4 pins. The lead is 4. No, the lead is 6 for Craig Holbrook as Carrington leads by 4 in the game. He took 4 off the 10 pins that Holbrook led after 1. Now Craig Holbrook. That's a pretty good first ball. 9-pin drop and a spare opportunity for Craig. Again, the wood is a problem here.
He's got a
shot right
shot,
at the
to
pin.
the right.
Yep, he got it. And the crowd with the chair.
We saw him last back in March of '03. He was a number 3 seed, defeated Joe Stella 396 to 354. Then was defeated by John Zappi 420 to 383. Again, that was March, almost 2 years ago.
Just 4 in the spare for Craig Holbrook. Open frame coming up in the 4th. $10, 40 through 4. Gary Carrington trying to ignite a spark. Good first ball. 9-pin drop.
Finally.
Trying to match the Holbrook spare in the 3rd frame. And the wood comes out.
It was good a moment ago.
It spins.
All right.
It angles. I think it's not great wood. But there's a piece of wood behind it that's going to help out.
Exactly. He should be in good shape.
Got it. First mark of the 2nd string for Gary Carrington, who only had 1 mark in the 1st string. On his way to a 94 in that first 10 boxes. Good ball. 9-pin drop. Just about pulling even in the match. If he makes the spare, he'll take the lead, and he does. So we'll go to the break. Gary Carrington works on a double mark and moves ahead of Craig Holbrook as we reach the halfway point of this match from Leda Lanes in Nashua. You're watching WNDS TV's Candlepin Stars and Strikes. Craig Holbrook ready to bowl on lane 34 at Leda Lanes in Nashua, New Hampshire. Dick Lutz with Mike Morin. Our WNDS TV crew here at Leda Lanes for this ladder championship match. Our director is Kevin LaFond. Keith Webb is our engineer. Half Worcester for Craig. Craig Amabello, Larry Haber, and Tanya Perry. Our camera crew. Patrick McDougall's on replay. Eric Anger is on audio. Steve Kenny on graphics. And they do a great job in bringing the pictures and excitement of Candlepin bowling right into your home. Each and every week, we're happy that you join us for Candlepin Stars and Strikes on WNDS TV. There's a good first ball by Craig Holbrook.
Dick, we get a lot of email from people who have been on bowling leagues for years and years. Here's one. Hello, Dick and Mike. The Montechusett Regional Retired Men's Bowling League has just started our 56th season of bowling. We believe we have the oldest MBA-sanctioned bowling league in Mass. We bowl at 9 a.m. on Mondays and Thursdays, so a 2-day-a-week league at Putnam Street Lanes in Fitchburg. Gary Therian is our owner and host. The league is led by the same man for many years, George Fava. He is still going strong at the young age of 97. Wow. We have 55 bowlers for the 2 days, have maintained averages between 93 and 115 for many years. Not bad for a bunch of men between 65 and 97.
Not bad. That's outstanding.
I would say so. Have a good year. Sincerely, Henry Robichaud, Secretary of the Retired Men's Club in Fitchburg at Putnam Street Lanes. Thank you very much, Henry. Continued health and success with your bowling league.
Gary with a 9-pin drop and a chance for $50 in bonus money right here. And he got it. Gary didn't think he was going to get it. You saw him run out of the picture with his hands on his head. He had no clue that that was going to make the spare, but it did. So 3 marks in a row for Gary, $50 in bonus money. And maybe Gary Carrington is warming up a little bit.
Well, he's slowly pulling away.
Bounced that one down. That one got away from him. Skip lob, 3-pin drop. 3 pins in the spare. Well done. Played to the outside of the head pin. And a 10 box for Gary Carrington. Gary trailed by 10 after 1. He's gained that back and some, and he now leads by 13 pins. with just under half the match to go. Holbrook can't find the head pin. The 1, 3, 6, 8 wood in front of the 8 pin. Got a shot at it, missed the head pin.
He's
Still
been going
can't
left.
find the head pin. Yep.
They've been going left a lot, especially on the first ball, and then he missed to the left on the spare shot. And then
Again.
on the open.
.65-7 for Craig Holbrook after a 104 first string. Again for the left of the head pin. Cannot find the head pin. Watch out, got a shot at it, but it's not going to happen. He'll be open again. Just one mark in the string for Craig Holbrook. He had just 2 marks in the first string. That'll be a 10 box. Gary Carrington coming up to lane 34 with a chance to build on his lead. Which bowler will catch fire? Gary did put 3 spares together in boxes 3 through 5. But he's going to miss the head pin there. And a tough shot for a spare here. One of these bowlers you would expect would catch fire. Gary makes the spare. That's not an easy shot. That is a terrific shot by Gary Carrington. Well placed, the ball between the 1 and the 3. The head pin bouncing off the wall to take out the 7 pin. The action takes out the 8 pin behind it. Good spare for Carrington and a good first ball, and look at what he has to show for it.
That was a solid Brooklyn hit. There was nothing wrong with the way that hat pin went into the left-hand pocket.
And you've got, what do you have out there? The
6,
7 and the 6 on the right. The 6 is on the right, the 7 on the left, the wood. Well, he's got to play the wood and see what happens. Nothing happened.
But he picks up another 10 pins or so on his
That'll
lead
be
over
at
Craig
9
Holbrook.
bucks. So he's at 108. And the lead is now 23 pins for Gary Carrington. And Craig Holbrook desperately needs to find the range.
Well, a couple marks is all it takes, and we've got an even match. As long as you stay that close, you've got a shot.
That's a good first ball by Holbrook, and there's a strike.
Is that the first strike today?
Yes. Yep. First strike. We haven't had that many marks. We only had 3 marks in the first string between the 2 bowlers. And we've had 5 marks thus far. It's now 6. A little thin on the head pin, but still not a bad shot, and a spare opportunity here. The 3, 6, 10, the wood between the 3 and the 6, and a spare.
Well, talked about 2 marks being back in the match. He's done exactly that, filling his strike with a 10. Having a spare in the 10th box.
A strike puts $50 in his pocket for bonus money, if he can do that here. And he puts a half Worcester on the board, a 2-pin fill, and a 107 second string for Craig Holbrook after a 104 first string. Gary Carrington will take the lead into the 3rd string. Just how big that lead will be remains to be seen, depending on whether or not he puts a mark or 2 on the board. Gary with a good first ball, and look at this. This is the 4 and the 10. And no wood to help out. That piece of wood's going to roll off. A pure cut shot here, the 4 and the 10.
A circus freak shot if you can pull this one off.
He plays the 4-pin. Takes him 1 at a time, so he'll be open in this frame.
So without a mark, he's got maybe a 10-pin
Within
lead.
10 pins. A 9 for Gary, 117. The match right now is even. Gary has a box to bowl, so whatever he bowls in this box will be his lead going into the 3rd string. And he's a little thin on the head pin, and look at this mess.
What is that?
That is the 2-pin with the 7, 8, 9, 10. and Wood between the 8 and the 9. I don't know that I've ever seen that leave before, Michael.
Don't think I'd ever like to see it again either.
Here's the 2, just the 2.
My.
So you've got the 7, 8, 9, 10. What are the names we've heard for that? Grandmother's teeth?
Yeah. Picket fence.
The 7, 8, 9, and 10 still stand, and he'll take 2 of them for an 8 box and a 125 and an 8-pin lead for Gary Harrington over Craig Holbrook, headed to the 3rd and final string of this championship match of our 3rd ladder series of the season. 1 string to go. We're coming back for it right after this as you watch Candlepin Stars and Strikes on WNDS TV. Gary Carrington will bowl first in the 3rd string. Very tight match, very low scoring match. 219 for Carrington after 2 to 211 for Holbrook. Strings of 94 and 125 for Carrington. Strings of 104 and 107 for Holbrook. Both of these bowlers will explode here in the 3rd string.
That's your fearless prediction?
I predict Carrington looking at a spare opportunity here.
Did you predict the Red Sox would win the World Series?
Absolutely, positively.
Okay.
Did not.
Oh.
Gary for the spare. Oh, look at this.
Boy, there seemed like there was so much wood right around those 2 pins. Just misdirected everything.
So Gary will be open for the 10 box. You've got 2 of the finest Candlepin bowlers in the world with impeccable credentials and years of accomplishment in the sport, and both guys are struggling mightily.
And unless they pick it up, whoever wins is going to be on the bottom for the Tournament of Champions seeding so far.
Somehow I don't think that's on either one of their minds right now. Just managing to survive is the first and foremost concern.
It's our job, of course, to predict all those other things.
Holbrook trying to find the head pin, still having a difficult time missing to the left. The lefty who bowls from right to left, coming at the pins, has been missing the head pin to the left side. 4 horsemen right side. Good spare for Craig Holbrook.
So depending on his fill, he pulls it even basically with his shot here. 8 or more pins.
Holbrook for the head pin. Good first ball. There they go. So now maybe we'll see a little action.
Well, your prediction of the bowlers exploding appear to be on the mark.
Well, Gary could very well have 2 marks that first frame. Good first ball there by Gary. 7-pin fill.
Catching a thin hit, which is good. Don't have to worry about punching out and leaving a spread eagle.
3-5-6 still on the table for Gary. Wood rolls off. Next week we go into doubles competition. You'll see it here as we digress from our normal ladder series with all men and go to the men and women for 4 weeks. And then we're back to the ladder competition for the men. Boy, he's had a couple of close calls. And that is a 10 box.
Craig has a shot at some bonus money now with the mark. It'd be $50.
We've only given away $50. That's to Gary Carrington in the 2nd string. The only bonus money we've given away this afternoon. Holbrook, good first ball. Breaks up the split. Leaves the 7-pin. Wood falls off. The lonesome 7 there. Looking for $50 right here. Craig Holbrook will not make the shot.
There it is. A ball too late. Always easy to do it on the third try.
Very close match right now. Depending on what Holbrook does in this box, we're going to be within a mark. Good, solid pocket shot. The wood straightens out in front of the 5-pin. The wood is well away from the 5-pin. Well, oh, yep, got it. So Holbrook with the mark will take the lead in the match. We're going to the break. 6 boxes remain. Don't go away. Come back for the finish of Candlepin Stars and Strikes from Leda Lanes in Nashua on WNDS TV. Gary Carrington. Gary Carrington, half Worcester.
Last couple of weeks, beating Bill Treifel, 401, 391 over Mark Gregory the week before. Did he just do what I think he did?
Yep, he did.
I wasn't looking
You
up.
didn't hear very many pins fall down, did you?
I just heard him hitting the curtain in the back. Oh, my.
And we'll have to settle for a 6 box.
Wow.
Talk about an aberration, you know. This
Sure.
is really one for the books. Again, he missed the head pin, but look at this. Look at the action he got, and he's got a spare opportunity here.
That one should go.
Yep, he's got it. Spare for Gary Carrington. Craig Holbrook has 3 marks in the first 4 boxes of the string, and he's taken the lead back.
He could really put the afterburners on here and leave Carrington in the dust with a couple of marks.
But look at what he's got.
That won't help.
Put 6 in the spare. And a real mess to shoot at here. And he just picks up 1.
So who wants the match? They'll be up against the Gary Carrington spare in the 6th frame.
There's the strike.
An 11-pin lead now for Gary Carrington, who actually has the advantage of 2 balls in his
Holbrook.
I'm sorry, for Holbrook, who has the advantage of 2 fill balls versus Carrington's 1 in his spare. And only a 5 fill for Carrington.
Got a nice note from Harry Wilson from Paxton, Massachusetts. Dick and Mike, in your opening show of the season, you were running down a list of some of the standout bowlers in the Worcester area in bygone days, and Milton Ladd's name was mentioned. In April 1950, Milton rolled a 10-string 1276, which at the time was a world record. One of his strings was a 184, which on wooden pins was unheard of. Milton's home alley, Al Rivers Jefferson Alleys in Jefferson, Mass., put up a banner over the pin area honoring his records. These scores were bowled in the trials for the annual Telegram and Gazette tournament, which was the highlight of the season for many years. I've talked about that in the past. As I recall, the country bumpkins had a week of trials. Then the next week, the city's slickers had their trials. And the finals were bowled at the Metro Bowl on Park Avenue. I bowled with Milton for quite a few years in the twilight of his career. He didn't throw an overpowering ball. Accuracy and control were his specialty. Milton was a quiet, unassuming man, a real gentleman. And that's from Harry Wilson from Paxton, Massachusetts. P.S. Congratulations, Dick, on your fine 140. Come on, Mike. Do something notable, like maybe rolling a 10 box.
Ouch. See, you Worcester people all stick together.
Thanks to Harry Wilson from Paxton. The spare inside the strike for Craig Holbrook.
at least won $10, didn't I, against you?
Holbrook with the lead. Looking for bonus money here. This is a $50 shot. He has yet to record any bonus money. Threw it off the pins, off the deadwood. He'll take it anyway. Well, the first bonus money for Craig Holbrook, a 25-pin lead plus a ball with 2 frames remaining. And
it's almost
Holbrook's
over.
in good shape.
Yeah.
Gary just never found the range in this match after a 401 last week. And a spare. Needs a double strike to put any kind of pressure at all on Craig. And that's not going to happen now with that kind of a ball. That's 3-pin fill. An open frame in the third, in
It's
the
over.
10th frame, and that will just about do it, right?
Yeah, mathematically, he can't do it.
10 box, 110. 3-string total. $108. No, 10 bucks, 110.
Yeah.
Holbrook with a 1 in the spare. Picks out the second pin to complete the half Worcester.
Come on.
1 pin at a time. And he'll finish with a 9 box.
Come on, good shot. Strong here.
Well, Craig will finish with a respectable 3rd string.
Chop, chop, chop.
At 136 3rd string with a 6 box to close it out. An 18-pin win over Gary Carrington, 347 to 329. Remarkable scores, but Holbrook the winner. Holbrook gets a berth in the Tournament of Champions. We'll come back and talk to our bowlers right after this as we pause on Candlepin Stars and Strikes from Lena Lanes in Nashua on WNDS TV. Final score in this match was 347 for Craig Holbrook, 329 to Gary Carrington. Holbrook advancing to the Tournament of Champions, and we'll hand out some money first to Gary Carrington, $1,000 runner-up money. Last week we talked about anger management and controlling your temper. Did you have to deal with that a lot during this 3 strings?
Yeah, it's very frustrating, this match. I run out of gas. You know, I was trying to check my pins. You know, even that wasn't working too well. It wasn't a good match.
You've been at this for many, many years. You've had ups and downs, of course. Have you disciplined yourself during the course of a match so that you're able to try to make adjustments, to do things differently during the course of a match to correct what might be going wrong?
Right. I switched my ball up halfway through the match. I wasn't doing too good. I started coming the other way. I threw 3 marks in a row, but then I kind of lost my aim throwing it that way because I don't do it that often. So I tried to go back the other way. It just didn't work for me.
You've been down this road before. You've had matches, I'm sure, like this before, but you know that tomorrow is a better day, and you'll come back at it, and we'll see you back here again.
Okay, thank
Gary
you very
Carrington,
much.
our runner-up here this afternoon. Congratulations to Gary. Good luck to you. We'll see you, Gary Carrington, again. Craig Holbrook will do the bonus ball contest. We'll draw a card out of the bin, and we'll see if we can give away $40 in cash. And let's see who our contestant is. It is, you got to fill out these cards correctly, gang. This one doesn't have all the information on it. You got to put a phone number and an address where we can get in touch with you, and this one doesn't have all the information on it, so we have to draw another one out. And let's see if I can read this one. The information is there, just that I can't read it. Kay Fair from Danville, New Hampshire, and she wants you to get a 7, Craig. So let's see if we can get a 7 for 40. That's a 7 on the bottom. That I can read. And let's see if we can give $40 away. And let's see if we can have a winner here. We're looking for a 7, and it's a strike. So it's a consolation prize from N&R Trophies in Winchton, Massachusetts. And come on over here in the middle.
Where was that all day?
Want to start now?
Absolutely. Let's go. I'm ready.
All right, talk about the match and the ups and downs of this crazy game of Candlepin bowling.
Actually, first I want to add something to the Gary Carrington thing. To be a bowler, you almost have to be like a reliever in baseball. You have to have a short memory. You know, if you bowl good, you better have a short memory because then you think you're too good. And if you bowl bad, you better have a short memory because it's never that bad. But today, you know, in any championship like a World Series or a Super Bowl, you know, you get two guys that are really good going at each other. Sometimes you don't always get the best out of either one of them. It might not be pressure or intimidation or anything like that, but, you know, it's like mutual respect. You know what I mean?
Michael and I have talked many times in the past about how this game can be so humbling at times.
Oh.
You think you're on top of the world, and all of a sudden, just like that, it goes away.
Like a lightning bolt that can come crashing on you. Absolutely.
Tell you the one thing that we get just talking to you and then watching you bowl and interact with people is that, and you and I had this conversation a short time ago, it's not really about the money, it's the love of the game and your fellow bowlers.
Right, right. You know, even though, you know, this was an ugly match, you know, it was still a lot of fun. You know, both of us maybe were shaking our head and a little grumbly, but in the end, you know, you go home and you say to yourself, you know, that was a good time still. At least it was for me.
The championship match of the ladder
Yeah.
series, of course, a berth in the Tournament of Champions is at stake, and the score determines the seeding in the Tournament of Champions. But
Right.
at this stage of the
How does
game,
6 sound to you?
That's okay. It's not 7th or out. I'm in. Here I come.
Let's hand out some money, $1,500 for winning the match. Bonus money we had for you, $50 in bonus money, and another $50 for having the high string in the match. And we'll see you in the Tournament of Champions.
Okay,
Craig Holbrook,
that's great.
our winner here this
Congratulations.
afternoon.
All right.
Thank you very much. And next week, we're back for more.
We are indeed, and our bowlers are Jeff Surratt, Dave Hodge, and now, of course, Craig Holbrook, who at 347, of course, will be 3rd out of the 3 so far.
At least at this point.
He's
Who
here.
knows what'll happen
That's
down the
right.
road. Mixed doubles next week. We'll look for you to join us. Thanks for being with us today. For our entire crew, and Mike Moore and I'm Dick Lutz. We'll see you next time on Candlepin Stars and Strikes from Leda Lanes in Nashua and WNDS-TV. We'll see you next time. So long, everybody. Let's go bowling.